Welcome back to the fourth part in a five-part series going over each one of Patrick Mahomes' touchdown throws from the victory over the Texans last Sunday. Today we'll be going over TD pass number 4, Travis Kelce's third, completing his hat trick, all in the first half of the game. So this touchdown pass was thrown with about 50 seconds left in the first half and down to a 3rd and 5. If the Chiefs don't convert on this, they have to kick the field goal. It ties the game, but as we all know from being from the game's future, that this is a touchdown pass, and when the Chiefs pulled ahead, completing the comeback in one quarter. And this play also shows a couple different things. And unlike most of the other plays we've gone over, this isn't a play that worked. This is a play that fell apart, and due to Patrick Mahomes' talent and his repertoire with Travis Kelce, led to success when it should have led to failure. And it's also a good demonstration of, while I can have a very good idea of the coverage and the play design that occurred, it also shows that I might not 100% always be right. I'm not in the huddle, and I had to look at this play dozens upon dozens of times, each time feeling I had a different idea of what was going on. And it wasn't until multiple viewings that I felt like I had an established idea. This play happens very quickly, and it also shows how smart a quarterback has to be and how quickly they have to make judgments and recognize different coverages, and why some quarterbacks succeed in the NFL while others fail due to this ability. So we'll watch the play in its entirety first to begin and go from there. Now, as you may remember, this is when they motion Travis Kelce to the left and then roll out Patrick Mahomes to the left as well. This play in itself, the design is crazy, the execution is crazy, the coverage is crazy, and I'm very excited to show it with you here. So we'll watch the whole thing over kind of in slow motion and go from there. We notice that the Chiefs are kind of in bunch formations off the line here. You've got a bunch wide receiver over here with Robinson and Watkins on one side, and then Kelce on technically the tight end position, but bunched over with Hill over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the line, so legal formation. And Damien Williams as the running back here. So what happened? What led to the score? Why do I say that the play didn't work? Well, first we'll go over the coverage that Patrick Mahomes sees. We mentioned the last 3 touchdown throws were on a cover 1. It appears Romeo Crennel got tired of this and switched to a cover 2. So you've got 2 DBs in the back here, both covering up the zone in the back, kind of splitting that end zone up to one side or the other, playing downhill, and then everyone else has their man. You've got a DB on Hill, you've got a linebacker on Kelce, you've got another linebacker on Williams, and 2 more DBs on each one of the Chiefs' wide receivers. So the play call that they did looks like it would actually work very well against this cover 2. Travis Kelce is going to, again, motion to the side, should bring the linebacker with him, and then kind of hook up and over. You've got Watkins here kind of running the comeback, Robinson running kind of an out slant pattern there, and Mahomes rolling to his right. So this play shows me the fact that Mahomes rolls to his left, the fact that Mahomes rolls to his left shows me that there's only one intended target, and that would be Travis Kelce. If you watch the preview for the Houstons, I talked about how much they like to isolate Kelce on the one-on-one coverage by basically taking everyone and making them go one direction and having their tight end, or sometimes Hill or another wide receiver, roll to the opposite end. And you think this would work out pretty well. We can kind of show how that aligns with the coverage. It also sets a natural pick play. That's a main thing that Andy Reid's coverage typically does. You're going to have the 2 zones drifting kind of too far back here, and your linebacker here is going to be making kind of a beeline down as Williams goes down to block to meet him, not knowing if he's running a route or blocking. Your linebacker is going to cross with Kelce here. The problem is that as these 2 wide receivers move across and they move their DBs across, it's going to create some of that natural traffic. The linebacker is going to have to make his way around, and it's going to be, at that point, basically a test of speed between Travis Kelce and a linebacker, which Kelce, his athletic ability and his speed are basically unmatched by any linebacker in the game at this point. Oh, the other thing I should notice too, and why I mentioned this play design is crazy. Tyreek Hill is blocking. No, he's not blocking the DB there. He is blocking J.J. Watt on this play. One-on-one, mano-a-mano, Tyreek Hill taking on J.J. Watt in a block. What that's going to do, it's going to be basically make these two DBs here useless, as both will be on this side of the field, and nothing's really going to be going that way. Again, the intended target's all the way over here. So Kelce moves to the left here, and Tyreek Hill kind of blocks his blind side there. And I just want to know what the conversation was between Hill and Andy Reid at this time. All right, so on this play, we're going to have you block. All right, which DB am I blocking? You're going to be blocking J.J. Watt one-on-one. What? And really, we all know Hill. We all know he was probably super excited for that responsibility. Loves to showcase not only his speed, but his strength, too. And we'll kind of watch that matchup as it goes. So this play design actually looks like it's supposed to be a good play design. But here's the problem. Kelce starts motioning, and nobody's following him. The linebacker isn't following him. They're slightly shifting to the side, but that's a problem. It's a problem because the Texans aren't in a cover 2. Instead, they're in a cover 5. And this is a coverage we haven't gone over at all. It's a strictly zone coverage, and it's a very, very smart ploy by Romeo Crennel at this stage, who doesn't like to necessarily disguise his coverages, but does so here. Basically, knowing that the Chiefs need that 5 or 6 yards to get to the end zone, basically pull somebody to each zone in the end zone, dividing it into 4 quadrants and saying, play downhill, don't let them score from anything out in front of you. The original kind of lineup shows the Chiefs that, they can beat with another underneath route down here and not have to throw in the end zone. Whereas in a zone coverage there, you really want to beat it by kind of flooding those zones, but that's not what's going on. You have 2 underneath zones here. It still does open up these sides, so the play's not a complete failure, but it's going to be a little bit harder with 2 DBs here and here to catch and run into the end zone. So we'll show those routes combinations on top of it once again. So again, you have Robinson here taking this zone coverage. Excuse me, that's Watkins taking this zone coverage here. Robinson taking the center zone coverage. Hill and everyone here is kind of off the side. Now, these zones do kind of adjust slightly as Mahomes rolls. Everyone will sort of follow him, shrinking the zones that they have to cover in general. Williams is going to block. Doesn't really work out. The play design isn't that great. And to kind of show you why the connection Mahomes has between his receivers and how he does this on a consistent basis shows with their routes. So I added on where their routes were supposed to go and then what happened afterwards. So Robinson, although he's going to cut here, knows he's a decoy, realizes Mahomes' option is covered and will actually rotate all the way in the back, trying to open up a space for him. Watkins does something similar. He's supposed to cut and stop here, realizes, moves towards the end zone, cuts to his right. I actually wish you would have kept rolling because he would have been open at that time. Harder throw for Mahomes to make, but it's one he can do, and then cuts back towards his quarterback. Kelce kind of stops here, realizes that he's not getting the ball there, and works his way back up and around. Mahomes still kind of sprinting out towards the corner. Because there's zone coverage there too, it also means that Mahomes has a very, very poor chance of running the ball in himself, as everyone's going to be in the zones, looking towards him, following him, and the play on itself just doesn't work out great. So we'll watch the play kind of unfold and slow down in certain parts. All right, so I wasn't lying. There is J.J. Watt and Hill one-on-one. You see everyone kind of breaking on their routes. Williams going up to block that unblocked defender there. It's coming charging in. Again, still Hill. And really, Kelce is technically open, although you're going to have 1, 2, 3 players coming towards him. The time to throw the ball would have been right there. Again, It's because it's third down, it's not going to work on a second down. You're going to get closer to the 1-yard line, so not a bad throw. But as soon as that ball is released, this defender is going to break, that defender is going to break, that defender is going to break, and this one's going to cover up around the edge there. So Mahomes and Kelce realize that that's not going to work. Kelce kind of looks back, realizes he's the only option, and continues to move. And so Mahomes gets to the line of scrimmage and tosses it at that point as Kelce backs and turns around. Now, why did that happen? How did that work? Well, we're going to change our angles a little bit here and go over what occurred. So we're looking at the end zone cam here, and we're seeing the blocks, and Mahomes sprint out once again. Now, what's going to happen, I'm going to kind of try to freeze it at the right time here. So Mahomes sees Kelce, sees all these defenders, and what happens? Why was this play successful in the end? Well, you kind of want to highlight where everyone's at this point. You've got a defender rolling to the right, defender rolling to the right, defender rolling to the right. All three of these are in coverage. You've got 3 on Mahomes himself to make sure he doesn't run it in, all running to the right here as well. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders to basically cover 1, 2 players, technically 3 if you count Watkins, but he's sort of out of the play at this stage. But it leaves only a small window, a small gap to throw the ball in. And I froze it here because Kelce sees everyone moving to his right, knows he can hit something if he moves to his left. And Mahomes, I had to draw 2 arrows for him because, and this happens so slowly that even in slow motion, it's very hard to pick up. Mahomes rolls to his left, again, with everybody. His feet are moving that way. His arm moves the other way and tosses it around the running linebacker, Zach Cunningham there. It's a super athletic throw from a platform that makes no sense, something that Mahomes is remarkable at and why he's such a great quarterback. And we'll watch that unfold here as well. Again, right around, right to Kelce for the score. A play that should have gone nowhere, went for a touchdown.